Good evening, guys. In the last class, we discussed about statement, result set, and prepared statement. What is the purpose of statement? Statement is used to execute both static queries with both select queries and non-select queries. What is the purpose of result set? Result set is used to store the data and it will maintain a cursor. If you want to get the data from the result set, we need to move the cursor. Next one, we are talking about prepared statement. What is the meaning of what is the purpose of prepared statement? It is also used to execute both select queries and non-select queries. What is a select query? It is used to retrieve the data from the database. Select a star from table. Like that, we can execute the select query to retrieve the data. So in order to execute a select query, we are having a method called execute query method. If you want to execute a non-select query, we have a method called execute update. What is the return type of execute update and execute query? What is the return type of execute update and execute query? Execute update will give number of rows affected in the table. Execute query will return result set. When to go for statement and prepared statement? Select queries or non-select queries. If you want to execute, you can go for statement and prepared statement. Difference between statement and prepared statement? Statement is used to execute static queries. Prepared statement is used to execute query with the dynamic value. What is a positional parameter, guys? What is a positional parameter? Question mark is called as positional parameter. Why we need to use that positional parameter? If you want to supply some values to the query dynamically, then we can go for positional parameter. Which will support for a positional parameter? Statement or prepared statement? Prepared statement will support for positional parameters. All right. So yesterday we developed a program. That program is going to insert the data into database table. Okay. Now I want to insert one more record into database table by using prepared statement. But this time I want to read the data from the keyboard. Can we read the data from the keyboard and can we insert record into table? Yes. Now, first let me open my client software, MySQL Workbench. What is the purpose of MySQL Workbench? What is the purpose of MySQL Workbench? It is a client software to connect with the database server. Okay. How to check what all the databases available? Show databases is the command. Show databases, select this. Yeah, advanced Java DB available. How to use a DB? Use database name. How to see all the tables in the database? Come on, show tables. Now, what is the query to see the table data? Select star from table name. Select a star from books. So I'm able to get the data. There are 4 records available in the table. Now I want to insert a 5th record in the table by using prepared statement. Now I want to read the data from the user. User should give the data. That data I need to insert into table. So now inserting the record, same query will execute for multiple times, right? When I want to execute same query for multiple times, statement is recommended or prepared statement is recommended? Prepared statement is recommended. So do you know how to work with prepared statement? Yes. Now tell me the code. My requirement is simple. Insert a record in the table by taking the data from the keyboard. So first, how to take the data from the keyboard? Scanner class. So right. Now tell me the code for that. Scanner S is equal to new scanner and I'm going to use system.in. Scanner is a predefined class available in java.util package. Available in java.util package. Next one. Scanner class is created. What next? I need to read the data from the keyboard. So I need to tell user, enter the ID, enter the name, enter the price. How to tell that? System.out.println, sysout. System.out.println, enter book ID. Yes, user will enter. I'm telling the user to enter book ID. So tell me how to take that book ID from the user. How to take the book ID from the user? Integer ID is equal to yes dot next int. So here I'm telling the user to enter the book ID. That book ID I'm storing into a variable. ID I got. I want name. I want name. Should I tell to user to enter the name or not? How to tell the user? System.out.println, enter book name. Let's store that name into a variable. How to store it? String name is equal to s dot next. String name is equal to s dot next. So with this, we are telling user to enter the ID and we are reading the ID, storing in the variable. We are telling the user to enter the name and we are reading the name and storing into name variable. I want price. Come on. System dot, what is the purpose of system dot out? Just to print a message. Enter name, enter ID, enter price. Okay. Enter book price. So how can I read it? Come on. S dot next double. S dot next double. I'm going to store that as double price. Okay. So with this, what logic is completed? Just reading the data from the keyboard, it is completed. What is next? Insert this data into table. So do you know the code? Come on, tell me. First one, class dot for name. I need to load a class. My database is MySQL. So how to load that class? com dot mysql dot cj dot jdbc dot driver. If I go for Oracle database, Oracle driver I need to load. My database is MySQL, so I'm loading MySQL driver. Database to database, driver will be different. So I'm going to load the driver. What is the next step? Get the connection. How to get the connection? Driver manager dot get connection. Are you clear? Now, loading the driver is mandatory or optional? Are you sure? Loading the driver is mandatory. Why it is mandatory? Why it is mandatory? Driver is the one which will establish connection with the database. So if the driver is not available, we cannot connect with the database. Loading the driver is mandatory. Now, I am loading the driver or I am loading a class here. I'm loading a class. Once I load the class, driver will be registered. We have seen source code of that driver class by using Java decompiler. What source code we identified there? Driver manager dot. What source code we have seen in that driver class? What code was there in the driver class? Register driver, right? Driver manager dot register driver. Can we see that once again? Yeah. Go to Java decompiler. Java decompiler. 1 minute. This is my Java decompiler. In this Java decompiler, I will open MySQL connector jar file. File, open the file. MySQL connector jar is available. In this MySQL connector jar, com.mysql.jdbc, there is a class called driver. Driver class is there. Can you see what is the code available in the driver? What is the code available in the driver? Public class driver extends from non-registering driver, implements driver. So driver class is implementing driver interface. Driver interface provided by JDBC, class is provided by MySQL. MySQL provided implementation for JDBC. In this driver class, what code is available? What code is available? Static block is available. What is a static block? When the static block will execute? When the static block will execute? When the class is loaded. When the class is loaded. So if I load the driver class, then this static block will be executed. Inside the static block, they are registering the driver. Okay, guys. But here, in order to load this driver class, we are setting build path for our project. What is the meaning of a build path? What is the meaning of a build path? Come on. Telling to the JVM to load the .class files from the jar file. Already that class is loading by the jar file. Why we need to load it again? Interviewer will ask you like this. So we need to load the driver to get the connection. Already you are setting build path for the jar file. What is the meaning of build path for the jar file? We are telling the JVM to load that .class files of the jar file. Once the .class file loaded into the JVM, static block will execute, right? Again, why we need to load it by using class.forName? Come on. Here, this line is optional. Even if you don't load that driver class manually by using class.forName, driver will be loaded because of that static block. Because of that static block, driver will be loaded. If I don't explain you this line of code from day one onwards, we don't get the chance to talk about the driver. Now we know what is driver. We know how to load the driver. How we are loading the driver? By using class.forName. What is the purpose of class.forName? To load the .class into JVM. Where is that driver .class available? In the jar file. Where is that jar file? In the build path. If you add the jar file to the build path, what is the meaning of that? Already loading na. Already that jar file is added to the build path. What is the meaning of adding the jar file to the build path? All the .class files of the jar file will be loaded to JVM. That means the driver class will be loaded to JVM. When the driver class is loaded to JVM, static block will be executed or not? Static block will be executed. If the static block is executed, this driver will be registered or driver will not be registered? Driver will be registered. When I am writing this class.forName, what is happening? Again, same thing, right? Again, same thing, right? So what is the purpose of this class.forName? It is used to load the .class into JVM. Already we added the jar file to build path. When we add the jar file to build path, driver will be loaded. .class file will be loaded to JVM. So from now, do we need to write this line of code or it is not required? Not required. Why? Already the jar file is loading by the JVM. The driver class is already part of the JVM build path, Java build path. So JVM will load the jar file from the build path. When it is loading jar file from the build path, all the .class files of the jar file will be loaded to JVM. When the .class file is loaded into JVM, static block will be executed. When the static block is executed, our driver will be registered. Okay, from now, can we skip this line? So from now onwards, how many lines of code we need to write? Only 5. So what are the lines we need to write to communicate with the JDBC? Load the driver. What are the steps? Load the driver, get the connection, create the statement, execute the query, process the result, close the connection. Close the connection. Now, first step, do we need to do that or JVM is already doing that? JVM already doing that. So can we skip this step now? Right. If you set the build path for MySQL connector, that driver will be loaded. If you set the build path for OJDBC 14, that driver also will be loaded. So directly, can I write get connection? Come on. Yes, tell me how to get the connection. Driver manager dot get connection. What are the parameters? URL, username, and password. So I'm directly calling get connection method. I am not loading the driver programmatically. With the build path, driver will be loaded. So what is the return type of this method? Come on guys, what is the return type? We are getting connection object. Can we see connection is establishing or connection is not establishing? Last time we verified. We loaded the driver, we got the connection. Now I am not loading the driver. I'm trying to get the connection directly. Run this program. Run this program. Run as Java application. Enter book ID. Okay. Enter book name. Something like this. Enter book price. Some value. Are we getting the connection with the database? So that means class.forName is mandatory from now, or it is optional? Or it is optional, then why are you teaching from last 3-4 days? To understand the importance of the driver. From day one, if I don't explain that class.forName, we don't know what is the driver. You will never get the chance to think about the driver. Now you know what is driver, why we need to load the driver. If we don't load it also, our build path jar file is available. In that jar file, the driver class is available. That driver class will be loaded. If the driver class is loaded, then only connection will come. Are you guys getting my point? Yes, perfect. So from now onwards, class.forName mandatory or optional? Optional. Directly we can write driver manager dot get connection. One line skipped. Next. Here I want to create statement to execute my query. My query is a static query, or my query is having positional parameters. My query is having positional parameters. How to execute a query with a positional parameter? Statement or prepared statement? Prepared statement. Tell me how to get the prepared statement object. Con dot create statement or con dot prepare statement? Con dot prepare statement. If I want to create the statement, then I will call con dot create statement. Now I want to go for prepare statement. Con dot prepare statement. Pass the query as a parameter. Once I give that query, what is the return type? I am trying to prepare the statement. What is the return type? What we are going to get? We are going to get prepared statement object. Now, do I need to execute my query directly with the prepared statement? I need to set the values before executing the prepared statement. I need to execute the value. I need to set the value before executing the prepared statement. Do you know how to set the value? Yes, come on. Prepared statement query is available. Positional parameters available. What is the index of the positional parameter? 1, 2, 3. How many parameters are there? 3 parameters are there. Can you tell me how to set the value? Yes, come on guys. PSMT dot set int integer 1 comma ID. From where I am getting the ID? ID I am getting from the keyboard. Next one. Second value. PSTMT dot set string of 2 comma name. Third one. PSTMT dot set double of 3 comma price. Okay. So I am preparing a prepared statement. I'm setting the values for the prepared statement. Then I need to execute the query. So it is a select query or it is a non-select query. Select query or non-select query? Non-select query. How to execute non-select query? How to execute non-select query? Execute update. Yeah, come on. PSTMT dot execute update. What is the return type? Int. What that integer represents? System dot out dot println rows affected. How many rows affected with this query? That number will be displayed for us. What is the last step? Con dot close the connection. Okay. Yes. Is this program difficult? I'm just reading the data from the keyboard. I'm getting the connection from the database and I'm preparing a prepared statement object. Prepared statement is taking my query with the positional parameters. For the positional parameters, I'm setting the value based on the index. Then I'm executing that query. As this query is a non-select query, I'm calling execute update. It is returning the count. How many rows affected with the query? I'm printing that count and I'm closing my connection. Let me check my table. So there are 4 records available in my table. Let's run this. Run as Java application. Book ID, I'm giving it as 105. Book name, some Hadoop. Book price, 2,300. Okay. Rows affected, 1. That means 1 record inserted in the database table. Check this. Yeah. Can we see 105 record, Hadoop record inserted in the database? Yes. Record inserted in the database. Are you clear, guys? Yes. Dynamically, we are able to read the data and we are able to insert the data. What about yesterday's program? Yeah. How many of you able to complete? Nobody. Nobody. Not even single person. Not even single person. Can you read the requirement? Somebody, Soumya. Any online students able to complete the yesterday's task? Any online students able to complete yesterday's task? Amit Kumar completed. Remaining people? Done. Amit Kumar completed. Hussein, no. Only Amit completed. 1 person. Only 1 person completed. What is the requirement? Can you read it once again? Ask the user to enter the price in keyboard. If user entered the price, then we have to fetch books which are having price less than user given price and display to console. If user don't enter price, then fetch all books and display to console. Same requirement. Can I show you in the Flipkart? Go to Flipkart mobiles. Okay, guys. Now let us see how many mobiles are there total in the Flipkart. How many mobiles are there in the Flipkart now? Total 8,980 products are available. Okay, it is displaying all the products. Now I want to get the mobiles based on the price. Price 0 to 10,000. Now how many mobiles are coming? 5,337. That means, can I say it is a filter? Am I filtering the data? Okay, I don't want to do the price filter. From these mobiles, I want to get the mobiles. I want to get the mobiles which are belongs to Samsung. Okay, I'm selecting this checkbox called Samsung. This side people see here. Total, how many mobiles are there in the Flipkart now? 8,980 mobiles are available. These are what? Filter. What is a filter? There are so many records available. I want to get only some records based on my condition. Now, let me select brand name as a Samsung. When I select a brand name as Samsung, what mobiles I'm getting? What mobiles I'm getting? Only Samsung mobiles I'm getting. Out of 8,000 mobiles, how many Samsung mobiles are there? Only 530 mobiles are available. Can I say they have a filter condition? Can I say they have a filter condition? So what is our requirement? Our requirement is also same like that, right? Our requirement is also same like that. If user enter the price in the keyboard, you need to find the books which are having price less than or equal to given price. If user don't give any price, we need to get all the records. So now tell me, what query I need to execute in which scenario? First, understanding the problem is important. Okay, so why you are not able to develop? Where you got stuck? Huh? Yeah, I will tell, no problem, sir. First time you are learning. If you are not able to implement, then I will explain it. There is nothing wrong. So tell me where you are not able to think that, to write that query. Select star from books where book price less than or equal to given price. Database query preparation. Yeah, mostly you people will get the problem to prepare that query. Here, for this scenario, can we go for a static query or we need to go for a dynamic query? Static query or dynamic query? Always I need to execute the same query based on the user input. I need to execute the query. Simple example. Observe. No problem, guys. So in the real time, these kind of requirements will be available. If I go for here, I am removing the filter. When I remove the filter, 8,980 mobiles are coming. That means what query executing in the background? Select a star from mobiles. When they execute select star from mobiles, what is happening? All the records from the table, they are fetching and they are displaying. Suppose if I select the condition brand as a Samsung, then can you think what query they are executing? Yeah, correct. What they are executing? Where class? How the query will execute now? Select a star from mobiles where brand is equal to Samsung. Problem solved. Problem solved. If user give the price, you need to add where class to the query. If user don't give the price, don't add where class to the query. Understanding my point? Whenever you remove the filter, what query Flipkart is executing? Select a star from mobiles. That means all the records are coming. Here, when I'm selecting the brand name as a Samsung, then what happening? Select a star from mobiles where brand name is equal to Samsung. When user select the brand name is added to where class. When user don't select the brand name, that is not added to the where class. So with that, now are you getting idea how to implement our requirement now? Yeah, how to implement our requirement now? Come on. How to implement our requirement now? First, listen. First, we need to take a base query. What is our base query? Select a star from books. Always I need to execute the same query or my query will change based on the user input. Based on the user input, my query is going to change. That means if a user give the price, then we need to add where class to the query. If user don't give the price, don't give where class to the query. If you can think that, problem solved. Can we try that now? Yes. Hey guys, so whenever I am explaining the code or when I am writing the code, I will think with my experience. Now you are a fresher. It will take time. It will take time. So like this, you need to practice more scenarios. Then your maturity levels also will increase. Okay, good. Let me write one program for that. Select books. Already it is there, na? Select books with the prepared statement. New class. Select books. Dynamic select. Dynamic select books. That is my requirement. Okay. Let me take the variables. Yeah. Main method. Okay. So what is the first step? From now, do I need to write the class dot for name? Not required. So what is the next step? First, ask the user to enter the price. How to ask the user to enter the price? Come on, how to read the price? Scanner S is equal to new scanner of system dot in. Scanner S is equal to new scanner of system dot in. Next one. Ask the user to enter the price. How to ask? Come on, guys. System dot out dot println. Sysout. System dot out dot println. Enter price. How to read that price? How to read that price? Enter, or sorry, double price is equal to S dot next double. S dot next double. Okay. User will enter the price. He may give the price or he may not give the price. Okay. Next one. What we need to do now? We need to retrieve the record. Here I'm going to take string SQL is equal to select star from books. Select a star from books. What this query will do? What this query will do? Come on guys, what this query will do? This query will give all the records. So always I need to execute the same query, or conditionally I need to execute the query? Conditionally I need to execute the query. Okay, here what I will do, if price greater than or equal to 0. If price greater than or equal to 0, what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? User entered some price. So if price is greater than or equal to 0. If price is greater than or equal to 0, I will modify the query. I will add the where clause to the query. Are you getting my point? If a price is greater than 0, if a user gives some price in the keyboard, my query should be modified. If a price is 0, same query will execute. Are you getting my point? Yes. How to modify this query? SQL dot concat. SQL dot concat. What I need to do? Where book underscore price less than or equal to positional parameter. That's it. Are you able to follow me, guys? Yeah, what I have done now? Am I taking a static query or I am preparing the query dynamically? I'm preparing the query dynamically. So why I am preparing the query dynamically? Because if a user give the price, then I need to filter that data. If a user don't give the price, then I need to get all the records. All the records. There is no business logic, just a control statement. If a user give the price, add that to the where clause. If user don't give the price, don't add to the where clause. Are you clear? Perfect. Now, so with this our query is ready. But here I have a problem. I'm taking a string. String is a mutable or string is immutable? String is immutable. What is the meaning of immutable? Cannot be changed. So here, even if I do SQL.concat, this string will be modified or string will not be modified? Will not be modified. Then what I need to do? I need to go for string or I need to go for string buffer? String or string buffer? String buffer. Why string buffer? Why string buffer? It is mutable. We can modify. But if 1 lakh people are accessing my application, what string buffer will do? String buffer is thread safe, right? Only one by one can access. So now, if a Flipkart, I am accessing Flipkart records, I'm accessing Samsung mobile. When I'm accessing Samsung mobile, remaining people should wait or they should also access at a time. They should also access at a time. So in this scenario, buffer is recommended or builder is recommended? Buffer is recommended or builder is recommended? Builder is recommended. Why builder is recommended? It is mutable, not thread safe. Multiple people can access our method at a time. Multiple threads can access our method at a time. In the interview, they will ask a question like this. Where you have used string? Where you have used string builder? Are you getting my concept? In the core Java, we understood string buffer, string builder. At that time, we understood only concept, but we don't know where we will use them in the project. This is the real scenario where we will go for string builder. Why I am going for string builder here? Because I want to prepare a query. That query should change based on user input. If user select a brand name, my record should be filtered based on the brand name. If user select customer rating, my query should change based on the given condition. User may select RAM, user may select internal storage, user may select capacity. There are hundreds of filters available. That means 100 conditions will be added to the query. So if I modify the string object for those many times, what is the problem? Every time when you modify the string, a new string will be created. 1,000 people accessing the Flipkart, 1,000 people modifying the query like this. Now, as a programmer, if I write my query like this, after few days, we will get out of memory exception. Why out of memory exception will come? Now, 100 conditions I'm going to write. If a brand name is selected, add the brand name to the where class. If rating is selected, add the rating to the where class. If RAM is selected, add the RAM to the where class. Okay. If customer, battery, screen size, so many filters are there. Thousands and 1,000 times I will modify my SQL query. 1,000 people are accessing my application. 1,000 times my query is modifying. 1,000 into 1,000. Those many objects will create in the JVM. If those many objects created in the JVM, what is the problem? What is the problem? Unnecessarily, JVM memory will be wasted and out of memory problems we are going to get. Now, whenever we are writing the code, we need to apply our common sense. Array, in the core Java, we learnt string. String is an immutable object. Once a string object is created, we cannot modify the content. If you try to modify the content of the string object, a new string will be created. Here, what I am trying to do? What I am trying to do here? I am trying to modify the string. When I try to modify the string, new string will be created. Old string will not be modified. So this is the right way of writing the code, or this is not the right way of writing the code. Is it right way or it is not right way? It is not right way. Two reasons. Why? What are those two reasons? First one, string is immutable object. Second one, when you modify the string, new object will be created. So can we change this bad practice? Yes. Can we write the good code? How to write that? String buffer or string builder? Why not buffer? Buffer is a thread safe. Only one thread can access at a time. But our application is a web application. Multiple people will access at a time. So I should not go for string buffer. I need to go for only string builder. Are you getting the concept? Yes. What is the problem with that code? What is the problem with that code? I'm using string. I'm trying to modify the string. String is immutable. I should go for buffer or builder. In the buffer builder, which one is recommended now? Builder is recommended now. For this scenario, builder is recommended because I don't want thread safety. Multiple people should be able to access my method at a time. So I need to go for string builder. Yes. Now remove this. Tell me the code. Tell me the correct code now. String builder. SB is string builder. Builder is equal to new string builder. New string builder. What is our query? Select star from books. Is it final query to execute? Is this final query to execute or it is not a final query to execute? It is not a final query to execute. What is our final query? If price greater than 0, then what I will do? Builder dot append. What I'm going to append? Where book underscore price less than or equal to given price. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of this code, guys? I am trying to read the price from the user keyboard. If user entered the price, my query will be prepared. Select star from books where price is equal to less than or equal to given price. If user don't enter the price, if a price is 0, If price is 0, then which query will this condition will execute or will not execute? Will not execute. If user give the price, where clause will be added? If a user don't give the price, only this query will be executed. Problem solved? Yes or no? Yeah, right. Next, what is the next logic I need to do? Driver manager dot get connection. How to get the connection? URL comma username, database underscore URL comma username, database underscore password. What it is going to return? What it is going to return? Connection object. It is going to return connection object. Import that connection. Okay. Now I need prepared statement, guys. I need a prepared statement. So tell me how to create a prepared statement. Come on, guys. Con dot prepare statement. Pass the query. So where is our query? Where is our query now? Builder. Prepare statement of SQL. I am giving builder. Okay, SQL. I will give it as a string builder SQL. SQL dot append. I will pass SQL as a parameter. Con dot prepare statement SQL. There is a problem. Prepare statement is executing string object. SQL is a string builder object. What to do now? What to do now? SQL is belongs to which data type? Prepare statement method expecting which data type? I have string builder. It is expecting string. What to do? ToString. SQL dot ToString. Builder object is converted to string object by using ToString method. Are you getting my point? Yes. Sir, why are you taking builder? Why don't you take a string directly? Why are you taking a builder? Again, why are you converting to string? Why don't you take a string directly? If I take a string directly, immutable. That's why I'm taking builder. So now, can I pass a string builder directly as a parameter to prepare statement? No. What that method is expecting? String object. But I have string builder object. How to convert a builder to string object? ToString method. SQL dot ToString. Now I got prepared statement object. I got prepared statement object. PST empty. Now again, we need to apply common sense. My query is static. My query is dynamic. My query is dynamic. My query is having positional parameter, or my query does not have positional parameter. My query is having positional parameter. My query will have positional parameter always, or it will have positional parameter if a user give the price. If user give the price, then only my query will have a positional parameter. Now, when I need to set the value for positional parameter, always I need to set the parameter, or when user enter the price, then only I need to set the parameter. Simple, simple. Can I do like this? PSTMT dot set double, one parameter is available, so only one index will be available. Can I set price directly like this? Is it valid or invalid? Sometimes it is valid, sometimes it is invalid. When it is valid, when it is invalid? Simple. Observe. Observe. User did not enter any price. Sir, a small requirement, we thought it is taking 1 hour time to understand. That is because whatever the requirement I have given, I know that query should have a dynamic parameter. For that, we need to check the condition. We need to set the value based on the condition. But for you, first time you have seen this requirement, it will take time to understand. There is nothing wrong. We are in the learning stage. Got it? Yeah. Now here I'm getting a query. So when this line should execute, am I going to set the parameter for the prepared statement always, or I need to set the parameter for the prepared statement when this line is executed. Are you getting the clarity? So if a user don't enter the price, then what should be my query? Select star from books. When the query is select star from books, do I need to set the positional parameter value? No need. If a user enter the price, then what should be my query? If a user enter the price, what should be my query? Select star from books where book price is equal to positional parameter. If a user enter the price, then where condition will be added to the price. If where condition is added to the price, then only I need to set this value. Otherwise, I no need to set this value. Are you clear? Right. Now, how to set this value dynamically? How to set this value? When I need to set this value? Understanding or not understanding? You understand? Huh? When I need to set the value for positional parameter. If customer enter the price, how I will know that customer entered the price or customer did not enter the price? Correct, correct. When I need to set the positional parameter value, how I will know that customer entered the price or did not enter the price? Come on. How I will know? Arey yaar. How you are adding the where condition to the query? How you will add where condition to the query? When you will add where condition to the query? When the price is coming from the keyboard, if user enter the price, then I will add the price to the where class. Okay, when the where class is added, positional parameter will be available. So I need to set the value for positional parameter if this line is executed. If this line is executed. Okay, can I do like this? If price greater than 0, problem solved? Problem solved? Yeah. First string builder SQL is equal to new string builder, select star from books. Select star from books. I am asking user to enter the price. User may enter, user may not enter. Suppose for example, user is lazy, user did not enter the price. Then how my code will execute? String builder, select star from books. Price greater than 0, not satisfied. User did not enter the price. When the user did not enter the price, this code will execute or will not execute? Will not execute. Then what will be my SQL? Only select star from books. So query is having positional parameter or no positional parameter? No positional parameter. When there is no positional parameter, do I need to set the value for that? No. If the query does not have a positional parameter, I no need to set the value. Price is not greater than 0. This is not added. This will not execute. Simple plain query will execute, which will retrieve all the records. Are you getting my point? Now let's assume that user entered some price. User entered some price. When user entered the price, this line will execute. Price greater than 0, condition satisfied. User entered price as 3000. Condition satisfied. If this condition satisfied, then what will happen? Where condition will be added to the query or not? Where condition will be added to the query. When the where condition is added to the query, that means positional parameter is available. Now this condition will satisfy or will not satisfy? Will satisfy. If this condition is satisfied, what this will do? Set the value for the parameter. Problem solved. If where condition is added to the query, positional parameter will be available. For that positional parameter, we need to set the value. If where condition is not added, no need to set the value for positional parameter. That is dynamic query creation. In the project, whenever we have a search operation, we need to go for this kind of coding. We need to add where condition to the query dynamically based on the user input. Now, can you understand how this logic is executing in the Flipkart? Initially, how many mobiles are displaying? 8,981 mobiles are displaying. Now, I am selecting Samsung. What happened? Can you imagine the query in the background? What query executing in the background? Select a star from mobiles where brand is equal to Flipkart. So brand is equal to Samsung. How many records we got? 530. Now again, I'm going to select RAM as 4 GB. How many mobiles are coming now? 530. Which filter I added? Brand, Samsung. Now I will select RAM as 4 GB. When I select RAM as 4 GB, how many mobiles are coming? What query executed in the background? Come on. Select star from mobile where brand is equal to Samsung and RAM is equal to 4G. From now onwards, whenever you see a website, don't see what color is there, what button is there. You need to think what code executing in the background. Then you will become a good developer. Are you getting my point? So till today, have you ever thought that that functionality will change the query in the background? Never. Today we understood first time. All right. Now, if you go for IRCTC trains booking, IRCTC trains booking, make my trip of flights booking, hotels booking, wherever you go, select from date, to date, from station, to station, search button. What will happen? Based on the given values, query will prepare in the background. That query will fetch the data. Suppose now I'm going to select internal storage as or battery capacity or screen size, whatever it is. Primary camera, secondary camera, specialty, high performance I'm selecting. High performance I'm selecting. When I select high performance, what happened? 136 products are coming. How many filters are there? 3 filters are there. Can you tell what query will execute in the background? Select a star from mobiles where brand name is equal to Samsung and RAM is equal to 4 GB and performance is equal to high performance. With the 3 conditions query prepared. Now from this I will remove 4 GB. I will remove one filter. When I remove the filter, products changed or not? 421 out of one. Now earlier 130. Now 421. That means what Flipkart people has done in the background? They removed one condition from the query. Now what is the query? Select a star from mobiles where brand is equal to Samsung and performance is equal to high performance. How many mobiles are coming? 421. Remove the performance also. How many records are coming? 530. What query executed? Select a star from mobiles where brand is equal to Samsung. I'm removing the Samsung also. What query will execute? Select star from mobile. So they are executing a static query or they are executing a dynamic query? They are executing a dynamic query. So now do you understand what is a dynamic query? How to prepare a dynamic query? Understood? Tomorrow when you come to Java project batch, there also we have same kind of requirement. There also same kind of requirement. Let me go to my application. In my application, I have one screen called reports. I have one screen called reports. Now here, reports, you can select gender as a male. There are some people who applied for insurance plans in my system. There are records available, some male records available, some female records available. Now, when I don't select anything, if I click on search, then I want to get all the records. So how to get all the records? Select a star from table name. Now, I don't want all the records. I want only female records. How can I do that? Select the gender as a female, click on search. Then what query we need to execute? Select a star from table name where gender is equal to female. Now, here the people applied for the insurance. I want to get the people who are approved for the insurance. Okay, I'm selecting the drop down value as approved. I will click on search. Then what query will execute? Select a star from the table where status is equal to approved. I want to get the males who are denied for the plans. Select here, status is denied. Gender is male. What is the query? Select a star from table name where status is equal to denied, gender is equal to male. Then we need to get the data. So this is Very specific requirement or very common requirement? Very common. If you go for any project, this kind of search operation will be available. When you are performing search operation, you need to think like how query should be executed. You need to prepare the query dynamically based on the search criteria. User may select first drop down, user may select second drop down, user may select third drop down, user may select all the drop downs also. If user select all the values, all the things we need to add to the query as a condition. If user don't select anything, we need to retrieve all the records from the table. Are you getting the idea how the projects will be implemented? Now tomorrow, when you have a requirement like this to develop a search form to search the data, do you think that your manager will tell you, you need to check the if condition. If a value come, then only you need to add. Otherwise, don't add. Will your manager tell you how to write the code? Team lead will tell you how to write the code? No. Who need to do that? We need to do that. That's where our logical thinking is important. So can you buttify the code? If you buttify, it will not help you because, as I told you, every day new requirement, every day new task, every day new functionality, every day new logic we need to implement. So like this, we need to understand the business. What is the business of our project? So what is the business logic? Based on that, we need to write the code. You need to become dynamic programmer. You need to write the code based on the given requirement. Are you clear with my point? Yes. How many of you, anybody who is not able to understand this logic? Anybody who is not able to understand this logic? Yesterday, I gave this a task because I want you people to think about it. Abhi samajh mein aaya? Yeah. Tell me what is the next step? What is the next step? Query prepared, prepared statement also available. Setting the value for the prepared statement also completed. Next step, execute karo. Did I execute my query? I have not executed my query. How to execute my query? How to execute the query? Come on, man. PSTMD dot execute update. What is the return type? What is the return type we are going to get? Execute update, huh? Non-select query, select query. Select query. So what method I need to call? PSTMD dot execute query. PSTMD dot execute query. What we are getting? Result set. So result set will maintain a cursor before the first record. Do you know how to move the cursor? Next method. How many times we need to move the cursor? How many times we need to move the cursor? How many times we need to move the cursor? Do we know how many records will come? No. So if condition or while condition? While condition. While rs dot next. Can we get the data? System dot out dot println rs dot get int of 1. 1 means first index, one row, first column. Then next one, rs dot get string of 2, rs dot get double of 3. Yes. Next, last step, con dot close. Okay, let us see our table. Select star from books. How many records are available? 5 records are available. Okay, let me run my program. Run as Java application. It is asking me enter price. Enter price. I'm giving 0. Then what happened? When I give the price as 0, what is happening now? All the records are coming. Let me run this once again. I'm giving the price as 3000. I'm giving the price as 3000. Enter. Less than 3000. How many records are available less than 3000? Only 2 records available. Check in the database. 4,500, 13,000, 3,500 and 2,300 and 1,000. 1,000, 4,500, 13,000, 3,500, 2,300. How many records are having price less than 3,000? Only 2 records. What are the 2 records? Hadoop record and Angular record. Are we getting Hadoop and Angular? Yes. So query working dynamically? Yes or no? Yeah, note down this. In the given what was the last topic? That was assignment only, right? Yes, note down that. In the above task, we have conditional based. In the above task, we have conditional based search operation. In the above task, we have conditional based search operation. In the above task, we have conditional based search operation. To achieve this requirement, we need to prepare query dynamically. To achieve this requirement, we need to prepare query dynamically. To achieve this requirement, we need to prepare query dynamically. To achieve this requirement, we need to prepare the query dynamically. If user don't give the price, we need to execute query as below. If user don't give the price, we need to execute query as below. If user don't give the price, we need to execute query like below. Select star from books. If price is not given, we need to execute this as select star from books directly like this. If user don't give the price, then we need to execute query like below, right? Next point. If user give the price, If user give the price, then we need to execute our query like below. If user give the price, we need to execute query like below. If user give the price, then we need to execute the query like below. If user give the price, then we need to execute the query like below. Now you understand what is the dynamic query preparation? What is the dynamic query preparation? Based on the user input, we need to add the conditions to the query. That is called dynamic query preparation. Yeah. Take this. Up to this, you need to take. Don't need to take the main method and all. Directly take scanner, take the price, take the scanner, take the price. Take the scanner, take the price. Hi, write it. Guys, don't buttify the code. Understand why we are adding that where condition, when we are adding where condition, when we are setting the value for a prepared statement. That logically you need to understand the concept. Next requirement is that. Next requirement is that. Understood? समझ में आया? आया? Okay. Next one. Next task, guys. Next task. All right. Yeah. First of all, let's understand here. We need to assume that there is an employee table which is having employee ID, employee name, and employee department, okay, and employee gender, and ID, name, department, gender. Okay, good. Employee ID, employee name, employee department, employee gender. Salary also. Employee, salary, department, gender, and let us take work location. Work location. Okay. Now I'm giving some dummy data. 101, something like some John, salary, some 35,000. Department, let me take it as security department, gender, male, work location, Hyderabad. Similarly, 102, he is Smith and his salary is 45,000 and he is working in HR department, and male, work location, Chennai. And similarly, 103, some Rose, 32,000. She is working in admin department, female, work location Pune, okay. Like this we need to maintain one database table, guys. We need to maintain database table. Let us insert some dummy records. I want you people to create one table in the database, write some insert queries, insert the data in the table directly. If you want to insert with the program, you can do it, or else directly write the insert queries and insert the data. Now we need to develop JDBC application to retrieve the data. Now here application, when you execute, it should ask me employee gender, work location. It should ask me department. It should ask me gender. Okay. Employee work location, employee department, and employee gender. If I give only work location as Hyderabad, then what should happen? What employees we need to retrieve? Now enter work location. I have given work location as Hyderabad. I'm not giving department. I'm not giving gender. Just empty space I have given. Then what your program should do? You need to retrieve all the employees we are working in the Hyderabad location. For example, I am giving Hyderabad and department as a HR. Then what you need to do? You need to retrieve all the employees who are working in Hyderabad location in the HR department. Suppose I'm giving gender as male. Then, come on guys, I'm giving gender as male. Then what we need to do? Select a star from employee table where work location is equal to Hyderabad and department is equal to HR and the gender is equal to male. So these three values are mandatory or optional? Three values are mandatory or optional? Optional, right? User may enter any value, user may not enter any value. If I don't give any value, I want all the records. Whenever you run your Java program, it should ask, enter work location. I have not entered. Enter department. I have not entered. Enter gender. I have not entered. Then what your program should do? It has to retrieve all the records from the table and it has to display. Suppose when it asked me to enter work location, I have not entered. It asked me to enter a department, not entered. I entered only gender as a male. Then it should retrieve all the records whose gender is equal to male. For example, I have given location as empty, gender as empty, department I have given as admin. Then what should happen? It has to retrieve the records based on the department is equal to admin. So three options we need to give for the user to search the employees. User may search with all three. User may search with any two. User may search with any one, or user may not give anything. So based on that, you need to write the logic. Are you guys able to understand this? Yeah. Write a requirement. Write a Java program. Write a Java program. Or develop a JDBC application. Develop JDBC application to retrieve employee records. Develop JDBC application to retrieve employee records. Develop JDBC application to retrieve employee records from the database table. Employee records from the database table. Based on given search criteria. Develop JDBC application to retrieve employee records from database table based on given search criteria. Develop JDBC application to retrieve employee records from the database table based on given search criteria. Take that criteria. Work location, department, gender. Work location, department, and it is something like a Flipkart search. User may select with brand name, user may select with RAM, user may select with screen type, user may select with the performance, any value we can give. Same here, we need to retrieve the records based on user given input. Based on the given search criteria, take those three values: work location, department, and gender. That is my search criteria. Understood the requirement? Next, note down. If user don't give any value for search criteria, if user don't give any value for search criteria, we need to retrieve all records from the table. If user don't give any value for search criteria, if user don't give value for any search criteria, we need to retrieve all the records from the table. If user don't give any value for search criteria, then we need to retrieve all the records from the table. Got it? If user don't give any value for search criteria, we need to retrieve all the records from the table. Next point. If user give search criteria, if user provides search criteria, if user provides search criteria, based on the given criteria, we need to retrieve the records. If user provides search criteria, if user provides search criteria based on given criteria, we need to retrieve the records from the table. Based on the given criteria, we need to retrieve records from the table. If user provides search criteria based on the given criteria, we need to retrieve the records from the table. Note: user may give any one value or any two values or all the three values also in the criteria. User may provide any one value. User may provide any one value or any two values or none of the value. User may provide any one value or any two values or none of the value to search the records. User may provide any one value or any two value or all three values or none of the value. You got my point? Yeah. What is the requirement? First of all, you need to create employees table with that structure: employee ID, employee name, salary, department, gender, work location. Like that, you need to create the database table. In that table, insert 10 records. By writing insert query, you can insert 10 records. After inserting the record, develop the JDBC program with the given requirement. Whenever you run your program, it should ask the user to enter gender, location, and department. User may enter 3 values. User may enter any 2 value. User may enter any 1 value. If user don't enter anything, I need to retrieve all the records. Suppose user entered only gender, then select star from employees where gender is equal to given value. User entered gender plus department. Gender plus department. Then what we need to do? Select star from table where department is equal to given value, gender is equal to given value. User entered all 3 values. User entered all 3 values. What we need to do? Select star from employees where department is equal to given value and gender is equal to given value and work location is equal to given value. Based on that, you need to retrieve the data. Are you guys clear? That means 3 options we are giving. Flipkart, how many options giving for us? To filter the mobiles, so many, 20, 30 options are available. So if you develop this requirement, can you develop a page like a Flipkart search? In tomorrow, if you get a requirement in the company to develop that kind of page. So if you develop this requirement, tomorrow, can you develop such kind of requirement there? Yes, right? So this requirement will help you to understand dynamic query preparation. This requirement will help you to understand how to implement search screens in the project. So today we are reading data from keyboard. When we go for servlets, same thing, no require. Whatever the projects we are developing today, for same projects, we will develop the web pages by using servlets and JSP. JDBC code will change or will not change? Will not change. Now we don't know servlet, we don't know JSP. That's why we are taking the data from the keyboard. But in the real time, Flipkart taking the data from the keyboard, Flipkart taking the data from the web page. From web page, how to develop that web page? By using servlets and JSP. By using servlets and JSP, we will develop the web pages. Now we don't know that. We want to learn the requirement. How real world projects will be developed. We need to understand that business logic. To implement that business logic, we need some data from the user. That data we are taking by using scanner from the keyboard. So till JDBC, we will use the scanner. Once the JDBC completed, scanner bye-bye. Then we will go for web pages. By using servlets and JSPs, we will develop our web application. So if you develop the web page and if you develop this JDBC logic, then we can create one project. So front end will be available, back end will be available. Our back end servlet will be available, JSP will be available. JSP will be front end, servlet will be back end. What servlet will do? Servlet will talk to JDBC. What JDBC will do? Talk to data. Are you getting the project structure? Yes, right. So by using JDBC, can we develop entire project? Entire project can we do by using JDBC? No. JDBC will help us where? Only database communication. By using JDBC, we can develop only database logic. If I want to develop a web application, servlet. By using only servlet, can we complete the project? No. Servlet is required. JDBC also required. JDBC is for database communication. Servlet for web application development. Are you able to connect the dots? Right. So tomorrow web pages will come. From web pages, we will take the data. Based on the data, we will execute JDBC program. JDBC program will communicate with the database. It may be insert operation. It may be retrieval operation. Insert means straightforward. Whatever the data we will get, we will insert it. Retrieval means conditional. Some users may want to retrieve all the records. Some users may want to retrieve records based on some condition. So we need to know how to retrieve all the records from the table, and we need to know how to retrieve the records based on some conditions also. Are you clear with my point, sir? Yeah. Any questions, anyone? Feeling difficult or easy? Interesting or boring? Interesting, boring. Yes. So, so with this we understood what is the statement, what is prepared state. Like this, guys, there is no end for Java. There is no end for Java. Like this, we can discuss thousands of requirements also, right? So is there any end for Java? No. What we need to improve? Logical thinking. We need to understand the requirement. What is the requirement? How to write the code for that? That you need to think and you need to write it. You see, after my explanation, you understand, array, this is very easy. Just we need to check one if condition and we need to add the data, retrieve the data. After my explanation, you are feeling it is easy. But yesterday, when I gave the requirement, 24 hours of time, not even one person completed that. That means our maturity level should increase. So to increase that, to improve that maturity level, is it possible overnight? 1 month? 2 months? No, it is continuous process. It is continuous learning process. For some people, it may take 3-4 months. For some people, it may take 1 year. For some people, it may take 2 years also. How much efforts you are keeping, that is most important thing. So you need to practice multiple scenarios. So from today, whenever you use a mobile app or whenever you use a website, you need to think what code is executing in the background. Don't see what colors are available, what buttons are available. That is not important for us. That will be taken care by UI. UI developers will be available. Design will be taken care by UI developer. We are going as a Java full stack. So 80% our effort should be on the back end. How to write the code, how to prepare the query, how to prepare the queries dynamically, how to write the better logic, how to improve our performance of the project. That we need to focus more. Clear, guys? Suppose if you go for UI full stack, they will focus mainly on the colors, margins, alignments, buttons, labels, and all. UI full stack people will focus on the design part. Java full stack people will focus on the backend part, mainly backend. It doesn't mean no UI. UI will be there. 80% you need to focus on the Java, 20% you need to focus on the UI part. Getting? Yes. So anybody still not able to understand given requirement? This requirement? No problem. I will repeat if you are not able to understand. I want you to try to complete this requirement before coming to our next class on Monday. Huh? Tomorrow? Tomorrow Sunday, na? Government holiday. Tomorrow morning class is there for you people? It is there? Shekhar sir is on fire. 4 hours class is there tomorrow. Yeah, full day batting. 2 hours only. Oracle class also. Good. They are on fire. Okay. So you guys need to develop this requirement, guys. Tomorrow, this is not easy. Again, whatever the code we have written today, same code will not work for this. You need to apply your brain and you need to think and you need to implement. It is matter of if else statements. That's it. There is nothing else. Only if condition. When to use if condition, when to use else condition. If you implement that if conditions properly, this requirement can be developed. So you need to focus and you need to do that. There is no magic, just if conditions you need to understand. Right, guys. With this, I'm stopping for today. We'll continue again on Monday. Thank you.